Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Adapt, Create, and Innovate. This is a series where we talk to, entrepreneurs and upcoming entrepreneurs, people aspiring, and try to really get them, to tell us about their business and really what they have going on. So today we have Rajaa Wilcox, CEO of SNKHER Enterprises. And today she's gonna share with us a little about herself and her brand. So Rajaa.
So my name is Rajaa Wilcox, and I'm a senior sports and entertainment major, TV and film minor from Philadelphia, PA, currently attending Howard University, where I'm also a student athlete, and I'm the CEO and founder of SNKHER Enterprises, LLC, and I'm here today to talk about my brand, Sneaker Social Club.
Awesome. Thank you very much for joining us today. It's really great because I think what Raj is doing for the culture and everything is super needed. Women especially, trying to break into the sneaker field. It's been a challenge. We have our bits and pieces, our little people in there, trying to influence, but it's been tough, it seems like a male dominated field, but we can see that people are really trying to break through and, much like Raj is doing. So thank you, Rajaa, again. We're going to jump right in. So can you tell us like the purpose and what really drives you, and why you wanted to start SNKHER Enterprises?
So the way that I started SNKHER Enterprises is I started with my brand, Sneaker Social Club. It's a community-inspired brand for women sneakerheads to connect, collaborate, create, and discuss all things sneaker and sneaker culture. So I created the page for it, and I just came out with t-shirts, and I started to post, and just like the reaction that I got to just the idea of what I was doing was so big that I was like, okay, hold on, what can I actually do with this? Right. So basically the goal is to just like create a community of female sneakerheads, women sneakerheads, because I felt as though we were underrepresented in the community, especially with it's becoming a really big thing over the last couple years. So I was like, no, we need to get our part because we've been in the game for a minute.
So no, I definitely agree with that. It's like we've been in the game for a minute, and sometimes, growing up, you didn't always get what you wanted because the colorways weren't always that nice. That when we're younger, our feet are a little smaller, so we're really subjected to those little sizes that they put onto us and those colorways that they put onto us. So it's important to break out in this field so that they can see like we want these too, and ours can even be a little more fly than y'all's if you give us a chance. So
personally, I believe women wear sneakers better, just the outfits. That's just my opinion.
Hey.
When it comes out to colorways, I feel like brands always feel like the women we want pink and purple. No, we want the same thing.
Right.
Colorways. We just need more sizes. We just want to be included more because we're here. We're in the culture. We're not asking you to change the culture for us. We're asking you to acknowledge the fact that we've been here.
Yep. And we're trying to, make a name and keep ourselves here, making sure that we have a spot. It's super important. So my next question for you will be, I know you said, it had a spark or whatever. So what would be your outrageously creative moment that really helped you like take over and think about what you wanted to do with your brand?
I don't think I could like attribute it to one moment. It was like a series of like events that happened, but definitely one major event is definitely like going to Howard and like seeing all the creative Black people and they do whatever they put their mind to, they'll do. So it was like once I was like a junior and you like really get immersed in that culture, just like by your junior year, almost everyone at Howard is doing some type of project or they have a business. Like everyone is an entrepreneur, so it's like getting into that spirit and that culture.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, I mean, I can speak personally. I've been trying to start a brand for a while. It's really about what you want to put into it is what I've seen, what kind of people you want to have around and like your team and how you can keep moving, how you can incorporate other people as well, even from outside your brand. So yeah, it's super important. And I know seeing that Howard culture definitely probably tip you over the edge.
Collaboration culture at Howard is insane. Like you can collaborate with anybody. Everybody has multiple skills. It's definitely a great place to be around.
No, that's awesome. So we're going to dive a little deeper. You told us about your brand and such, but we're trying to get to know you a little better. So who are you? And tell us about yourself, a little personal story, and then how that helps you relate, to your brand.
So who am I? Okay. What did I? All right. Well, I love sneakers. I love sneakers since I was a little kid. I don't really know like where that love came from, but it was like I don't know, like being in the sneaker store and just like being surrounded by all different colors and like it was just like I don't know, that was my candy store. And when you're younger, your parents don't really like you get one or two, a pair and you make them last. So that was just like how I started like getting into like the without being in the culture yet, being so young, but like I was just like, I'm gonna take care of my shoes because I want to still wear these. Like, yeah, like these are fly. And it was like after and after. So that's how I got into sneakers. And then definitely I play softball. So like being in sports, like this, like we're always in our sweatpants and our sweatsuits is like the sneakers is really get to show up our personality. So that's what a lot of where my love for that comes from. And then in high school, that's when I started to get into like graphic design and photography. So having that background really helped me when it was time to like create a brand because I was able to do my own graphics, like oversee my own photo shoots and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, it definitely also helps with the experience, and like I said, the collaboration with other brands probably helped you with the experience as well. Like really getting to know other people, how you work in teams, even though they're not on your said team, so things like that are important. And I think it's awesome that, you took the chance to, really break out, like you said, and be in this field because, again, not a lot of people are. So I think it's super important. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
So let's see, what else? Let's see. So what continuously like inspires you, because I know sometimes it's tough for entrepreneurs or people like aspiring to keep going. And push through even though some days there might be really good highs and some days there might be really good lows. So what keeps you really going and keep you pushing in your field?
Well, definitely my family, like seeing the sacrifices that they've made so that I can like be able to do what I want to do because I feel like with our parents, like they were the generation where like it was about survival, so it was like whatever they can do to survive. So just like acknowledging that with my generation it's more I'm able to do what I want to do because they made the sacrifices and they didn't necessarily like pick the jobs that they wanted and stuff, but I can go and be like whatever I want to be because of them. And then also the messages I get like DMs and like comments like, thank you for doing this. Like representation is so big, especially for someone that I'm not, I'm a minority in a couple ways. I'm a woman, I'm Black, and I'm Muslim. So I get a lot of like DMs of people like, keep going, like this inspired me to do this and that. So those definitely keep me going, just knowing that what I'm doing is something bigger than myself.
Oh, definitely bigger than yourself, and you're definitely inspiring a bunch of people. And I think even it's something can even be said about the time frame that it's been so quick. I think and
yeah,
just like that, and people really see when they see what they like and they see what they want and they know they can do it. It's important to keep pushing. So I think you continue to inspire people and people you don't even know yet. But I think it's going to be super cool to see in the future, like where it comes from and, how it's been able to progress. So,
yeah, I'm definitely excited to see like, how big the community can become, like, because I've already met like so many inspirational and like amazing creatives and people. And I launched in September. So it's only been a couple months. So I'm like, I can't believe like this is like who else is out there.
right.
So I'm really excited to see what the future holds.
So speaking of, who else is out there and, keeping it together. So in your own terms, how do you and your team make it possible for SNKHER to be like possible? How do you guys make it so that your brand keeps innovating and comes together and creates some value?
Like really realizing the impact of like communities. So like making sure that we're replying to every comment where like we're going through our followers and we're going to go see what they're posting, we're liking, commenting, like letting them know that it's like it's not just a brand, it is a community, like come to this page, come through the comments and go make friends. Like we want to eventually like expand to doing meetups and stuff, so that it really is like eventually we're going to be a family. Like I met so and so through sneakers, so I want people to be able to say that.
That's awesome. Actually, I think we could all benefit from that. You can make friends in comments. I think social media is also a very powerful tool, like marketing wise, and really connecting and networking wise. Like you can put yourself in rooms or conversations that you had no idea about by simply sending a DM.
Yeah, and it's all through, my thing is it's all through sneakers. Like you'd be surprised who's actually a sneakerhead. Like there's doctors, lawyers, there's teachers, it can be anybody. It doesn't have to be your typical, your athlete. Is for everybody. So it's like really seeing, like I've met some, like I'm like, you're wearing Jordans in your operating room. I'm like, yeah, this is crazy. Like you can really meet anybody through sneakers.
No, it's a worldwide thing. I think it's been big. We can see that it's been big because there's things like reps and how big even reps are, and how the reps are priced, and it's just crazy. Like even a rep is like $200 now, which is crazy to me, but it's all right. But yeah, I'm like, it's a big world, and I think there's something to be said. Like people should definitely tap in.
I think recently, like with the pandemic, we're seeing like a rise in like that streetwear sneaker culture. So just like I've seen a lot of women be like, oh, like I'm seeing everyone wear these sneakers and I want to get into it, but I don't know where to get them. And sometimes like it's intimidating to ask sneakerheads like, oh, like how do I get these? And I saw like a girl tweeted that she was looking to buy Jordans and she's on Nike's website and she's like, do they not sell? Like she's like, where they at? And she had learned that you have to go to GOAT, to StockX. You got to go download the sneakers app to get them. It's just like getting that information out to people that are new to the community and want to join is like really important to me.
I definitely agree with that. Speaking of, the COVID pandemic, you said you launched in September. So what was like your turning point in your COVID coping moment, I would say, with your brand? Like, did you decide, maybe I should really push this forward, or maybe I should, hold this a little bit and think a little more on what I'm trying to do and then put it out, So
during COVID, that's actually when I like really honed in on my sneaker collection. So I was just like immersed in the sneaker world. So that's like how I came up with the idea. And then it was just like all about like planning it. Like I wanted to strategically plan it out before I launched, because I was like, I knew that if I did it correctly, like it could be something big. So it was just like all about planning it out. And then with like, by that like September time, that was like everybody returning back to work, returning back to school, just like a good time to launch. Cause it was like, again, like bringing the community, like in the sense, like the community was coming back together. So I thought it was the perfect time to go ahead and put my idea out.
Definitely got the right timeline, because it was quick, and I think very needed, something to focus on, something to focus your attention on. And, like you said, you're buying sneakers anyway. And I'm also guilty of being a pandemic purchaser. So I'm not gonna, I definitely
got caught up this pandemic.
I moved to the collection during the pandemic, but we will not say the exact number. That's all right.
That's in the past. That's history.
We'll move forward with the next parts of our collection. So yeah. All right. So speaking of moving forward, what comes next, for you and your brand? Maybe you got a little event coming up, or you got something special planned. So what comes next?
What's coming next? Well, now we're trying to make sneaker a household name. So events, like we're really pushing like our blogs, like getting information out to new sneakerheads so that they can come and be a part of the community. So we're looking to do events. We're looking to partner with other brands, with other companies, just anything we can do to get ourselves out there and get out in the community so people know who we are.
That's awesome. So as we, transition over, do you have any words of wisdom that you like to share with, any aspiring entrepreneurs, or, even people with just an idea on what to do and, how to get themselves, going?
If you have an idea, like start, like don't just sit on it. Like when you like nothing happens when you just sit, like start planning, start getting the details out. Like if you have an idea for a brand, like go grab your Instagram at me, like go, like you got to be proactive. Like don't sit on your ideas, because what's going to happen is someone's going to do what you're doing. You're going to be like, oh, I should have started that.
Yep.
Be on top of it. Like if you have an idea, you got the idea for a reason, go and implement it.
Definitely important. I know some people can get discouraged, you know, by seeing other people do what they want to do, but that doesn't mean you can't do it, and maybe even do it better, you know.
It comes with like a lot of failure too. Like you have to acknowledge that failure is a part of the process. Like within my first launch, like the first 2 days, I was served a cease and desist. So like that first 2 weeks, like I was so sad. Like I was like, I can't believe this, but I was like, and when I was able to finally snap out of it, I was like, okay, well, let me go research it myself and let me go figure it out. And then I was actually able to like go and get my own thing trademarked. So I was actually fine. I was actually fine. So it's like, you just have to acknowledge that failure is a part of the process. Don't be afraid to fail. Cause I think that's what stops a lot of people from starting. Like failure is how you're going to get to success. You got to keep failing, cause you can fail 9 times. And on that 10th, that's when you blow up. So you just have to like trust the process, basically.
Trust the process and continuous trial and error sometimes, like truly. Very well said. I thank you for that. So thank you again, you know, for meeting with us today and sharing your wisdom, sharing what you have to offer and everything about SNKHER. I definitely appreciate it. So if anyone wants to like get in contact with you or, you know, follow you and your brand on the socials, how can they, you know, get in touch with you?
Well, first, I want to thank you for having me. This has been great. You can find me on Instagram at Rajaa.Sultana. You can find SNKHER Social Club on Instagram at SNKHER Social Club and at SNKHERheads, and also at SNKHERhead Enterprises. So those are all things SNKHER. And we're also our website, SNKHERSocialClub.com.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And thank you guys for viewing and tuning in. I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you, Rajaa.
Thank you.